All right. Hey, trader. Thanks so much for tuning in to the weekend wrap. My name is Corey. Today is March 7th, 2021. Get it out. All right. So, in recent news, the Senate did pass the $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package on Saturday, which is going to extend and raise the unemployment benefits. Some people, my friends included, have already received stimulus checks. However, the jobless benefits are slated to expire next weekend, so the bill needs to be passed to Biden in time to prevent a gap in the jobless benefits. Also, in unemployment news, unemployment came in lower than expected last week at 6.2% versus the forecast 6.3%. Also, non-farm payrolls came in almost double what was expected. Really phenomenal result on that one. Sadly, though, the Senate has rejected Sanders' $15 minimum wage hike, albeit some people may have mixed feelings over that one. And in other news, gold settled below the $1,700 figure, which is a pretty big psychological number last week, which is the lowest in 9 months. In other news, California's theme parks are set to reopen as of April 1st. So that is certainly just goes to show that the economy as well as the coronavirus numbers have been improving quite a bit lately. And as vaccines continue to roll out, I think numbers will just continue to decline. So the S&P closed substantially higher on Friday, suggesting a potentially bullish outlook for the week ahead. Although we'll talk a little bit more about that here in the when we analyze the overnight session. So here's the economic calendar for this coming week. Monday, tomorrow, March 8th, we have no major events. Tuesday, we have the EIA short-term energy outlook. Wednesday, core CPI. That'll be an important one, considerably as inflation continues to rise. We have 0.2% forecast. And last month we had, in the month of January, we had 0.1%. So that's at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time on Wednesday. And then we have crude oil at 8 a.m. on Wednesday as well. On Thursday, initial jobless and the JOLTS job openings. Friday, we've got the PPI as well as tentatively the U.S. federal budget, although they were supposed to report it last week and they didn't. So we'll just kind of play it by ear here. Also for earnings this coming week, there aren't really any really big players coming up in earnings this week other than maybe Oracle. Monday we have got Viatris, Tuesday H&R Block, Wednesday we have Oracle, Thursday JD.com, and Friday there were no earnings actually that I could see. And all these guys are pretty small market caps anyways, except like I said, other than Oracle's. Okay, so here we are in looking at the S&P futures here, Sunday night's overnight session. So this orangey red looking profile is Friday's session, and you can just see the insane bullishness. Albeit, so the session started out very bearish. This big green spike here, this is when the numbers came out for the non-farm payrolls, so that was obviously very bullish. And then we opened up, and the sellers just came in with strength right off of the bat. And it was strong. We came back up. We retested the open one more time. Couldn't really gain much traction though. And then we continued to sell off. However, we weren't quite able to take out the Thursday's low. And then the buyers just came in with a great deal of strength. This is a really good example of an open rejection reverse if you know the different opening types. As far as the overnight session goes, however, so we opened on a pretty big gap, and we were unable to break through this resistance level right up here at 38.68, something like that. And we came back, retested we closed first the gap of the Friday's high, and then we closed the session or the session gap right here, close that, and then the actual close gap. So we traded all the way down to Friday's close. The long and short of it is we were not able to hold above Friday's high, let alone Friday's close. So we are certainly trading back into Friday's range, and in addition to trading back inside the value area. So my short-term bias is short, ironically. And So yeah, anyways, um, I am looking for us to likely to continue to trade probably all the way through Friday's value area. There's something called the value area rule, which I learned from and I use this thing all the time. Basically, it says that break out of balance. Okay, you break outside the prior day's high, break out of balance, or break outside the prior day's range entirely. Trade back inside the prior day's value area. You got an 80% chance. A really narrow one, the likelihood is higher. Um, I mean, I see this all the time. You'll break outside of the prior day's range, and it just can't hold back inside the prior day's value area. Sometimes it'll just blast all the way through that prior day's range, especially if it's narrow. So this is a pretty nice reversal setup. I was able to short when we failed to hold up there, and anyways, let's get into some trade setups for the coming week here. So we've got Zyme or Zynerba Pharmaceuticals. We had a pretty big impulse coming, or excuse me, in the end of February, all the way up to $9, and that thing corrected, made a 100% retracement on that. We did fill the gap right here, though, so that's really why this was of interest to me. So we filled the gap, and then we bounced, and I would love to put on a long position right here, target this $5 level, potentially going all the way back up to 6. It may need to get some more volume coming in here because this volume is pretty weak. But for a short term to mid term swing trade, or to be honest, I mean just holding this thing. Pot legalization is coming. I feel like it's essentially in the next 4 to 8 years. So anyways, this thing is looking pretty good here, so I think it's a great setup. SOI or Solaris Oilfield Inc. This is a breakout trade. The only thing that made me want to move forward with a little bit of caution here is the fact that we did not come back to retest this trend line. I didn't quite zoom out far enough to see if there's a midline running through here. I Hard to say just based off the limited stuff that I can see the 1 hour time frame. In any event, if you do take this breakout, I would say just be wary that this thing doesn't turn back on you and then come back down to trap all these longs out. Oil has been really strong lately, so I don't think that will happen. But just once it starts to get some good headroom up here, maybe just move your stop right below this level. Keep it nice and tight just in case it does back up on you. So last but not least, this is a short on Disney. And again, like SOY, I was just going to express a little bit of caution because we did not come back up here and retest this trend line. Stocks don't trade like futures. I mean, it's not going to be nearly as precise just because of usually because of the volume differential there. But in any event, this is a pretty nice short setup. So I'm looking for a break below this more or less weak low right here around 182.50 and potentially targeting this $175 level. So we shall see. And with the Disney parks reopening in April, I have no idea if the news could completely counteract this bias or not. Just be careful. Like I said, if you want to play it a little more conservatively, just wait for it to come back up, retest that trend line, and find rejection. So, okay, so that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Again, for the S&P, my immediate bias is short, although we are likely to open up within Friday's value area, so I suspect tomorrow will potentially be choppy. And given this is the third round of stimulus, I don't expect there to be a massive reaction in the S&P. That being said, though, keep an eye on the bond markets because the bond markets were insanely volatile last week, and with the stimulus having been passed now, it may continue to do so. The corona numbers continue to drop, so save for inflation, the economy definitely seems to be moving in the right direction. So now you might think about possibly engaging some of those longer-term fundamental plays in the sectors that were worst hit by the pandemic, such as travel, recreation, leisure, that kind of stuff. So, all right, well, that's all I got for you guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna try and start getting better about getting this thing on a regular schedule. I know the time I've been posting on Sunday nights has been really sporadic. I don't. I got another job, so yeah, I'm typically working until relatively late Sunday evenings. But in any event, I will do my best to come out with a schedule for you guys. It'll probably be around 8:30 Pacific time, though. Sorry for you guys on the East Coast, but you can watch it in the morning. Name it. All right. Well, thanks again so much for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you as always. I will see you tomorrow for the morning brief. But other than that, trade smart. Wish you the best of luck, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.